think I've made it pretty obvious to those who know me that I do not like two of Fizzy Pop's biggest brainchildren, Hazbin Hotel and Helluva. I think from the images that I've provided, it's kind of obvious I don't enjoy these shows. Yeah. And I know. The content mill of Hazbin Hotel and Helluva hate videos is still ongoing, but I've wanted to get my word out on this show for quite a little while, for like a few months now. My video does come from a pretty big place of bias because I do not like Vivzy Pop. I think she's very immature, the way she deals with criticism for her shows. And by the way, this is coming from a 17-year-old talking about a 33-year-old woman calling her immature, so you can really say something about that. I also just find her gross for liking sexual assault jokes. But I recommended another video on that topic since I am not the person to go to for that. Also, I will not be discussing Hazbin Hotel Season 2 because I have not seen it. I do not plan on seeing it because I think I will bash my head into a wall and retreat to YouTube to watch something else that is good, like Marble Hornets or something. Now, without further ado, I'm getting into the hell I like to call Hazbin Hotel and Helluva ass.
Because of your stupidity, you don't get a fun death.
Okay, this has been an issue I've seen for a long time, and every time I bring it up, I find more and more things to talk about. I'm just gonna say it here so we all know it. Her female characters are not well written. They're not well written. They have about as much thought put into them as a fucking AI-generated hand, which is to say, not very much. I feel like Helluva has a way bigger issue with this than Hazbin Hotel because according to Viv, it is a male-focused show. No offense, but that's not an excuse to not write your female characters. A male-focused show can have well-written female characters, like My Hero Academia. I know I'm bringing it in, my hyperfixation. Let me talk. Let me cook. Well, the show's primary main characters, Midoriya, Todoroki, Bakugo, are all male. The female cast still gets a lot to do. For example, Uraraka and her whole thing with Toga, that's a very important thing to her character. I'm just gonna say, Uraraka does a lot more shit than Millie ever did. Because her writer actually cares. Horikoshi actually cares about Uraraka, at least. Millie's writer doesn't give two shits. Left her in the fucking trash can back behind a store. I'm not done with Helluva's misogyny either. No. We're not. I know I'm not touching Hazbin Hotel in this section, but it does have issues. Just let you know that. Let me introduce you to my least favorite writing trope. Evil wife. AKA Stella, who was ruined by the writing because the creator wanted to make Stolas not seem like a bad guy. And in the end, they failed at doing that, so it doesn't even matter. Her character was ruined for nothing. Stella, in my opinion at least, from when I watched season 1 of Helluva, was somewhat sympathetic. At least in the first season. She was in a marriage she didn't want to be in, the same as Stolas. And she was upset, at least to what you were watching her in the first season. She was upset because her husband cheated on her. I mean, that's kind of a normal thing to be upset at if your husband cheats. And season 2 kind of just throws that all out the window by making her abusive to try and make Stolas' cheating seem more valid. Which, no, you can't just throw that in there. You really don't care about your female characters, Jesus Christ. I didn't get to mention, but Stella was definitely having it worse in that marriage. Because typically, which their marriage was arranged, typically the woman has it way worse than the man. Because number one, she was the one who had to carry Octavia. She was the one who had to get pregnant and have a kid and go into labor and carry it for 9 months. What did Stolas do? None of that. None. Not a single bit. Not a single bit. I don't feel bad for him at all. Not a single bit. No. And I'm not gonna touch on it because it's already been discussed, but Millie, the Millie problem, being an accessory to a male character. And that's a big issue the show has that I'm not gonna touch on because it's been touched on in much bigger videos and better videos than mine. So I recommend going to watch an actual review of it and not a shitty little YouTube review made on a computer in like 10 seconds in CapCut. But yeah, that's about it for the misogyny section. I really don't want to go into the next one.
Oh yeah, that's real nice, you know, considering how much you're paying us and everything.
Why would I pay you for what you're giving me? I mean, really.
Oh, that's real nice.
Who else is gonna work with you with this attitude?
Hazbin and Helluva are considered adult shows. Sure doesn't feel like it because of the writing, but whatever you say. And I'm not some prude who hates cursing. I'm just gonna say that. You stay in a room with me for like 10 minutes, there's gonna be cursing. I don't care. There's going to be cursing in like 20 curse words in the span of a one sentence. I curse a lot outside of YouTube. But it's different in a TV show and in it, you know. The heavy amount of cursing in Hazbin and Helluva heavily affect the character writing. I'm just gonna say that. It doesn't add to any uniqueness in a character in a way the character speaks. Because they all speak the same. Why does the Princess of Hell, royalty by the way, talk the same as an imp, Blitzo? She talks the exact same. They both curse a lot. And I know Blitzo is supposed to be more, what's it called? Blitzo, it's the same thing. I don't care. I know Blitzo is supposed to be a lot more crash, but I'm just comparing the two since they both curse. They both curse a lot. Why does she talk the same as an imp? Someone who is supposed to be a lower rank in hell. You're not gonna see a princess in real life talking like a fisherman in public, man. Maybe in private, but not in public. And it would be more realistic to have Charlie put on maybe like a persona, not cursing a lot in public or anything, but then in private she lets it all out. She curses in private but not in public, around the citizens. And having her curse all the time makes her seem less special than the other sinners. She just comes off as another sinner. It doesn't feel like she's literally Lucifer's daughter. It feels like she's just another sinner because of how much she curses. It's the same with Lucifer. He's also a problem with this. He comes off as just another sinner because he curses a lot. But I'm not putting him in here because I don't want to write about that character. I just don't like him. No. And this cursing extends all the way to how people look at Hazbin Hotel in general. The shows are adult shows. They don't feel like them. They feel like a 2016 YouTube video. I feel like I'm watching a Leafy is Here video with the amount of cursing in this. And it doesn't come off as adult writing. It comes off as a child trying to make something seem adult with the amount of cursing. And once again, I'm not some prude. If I'm telling you, you are cursing a lot. You got something going on. I'm sorry, you got something going on there. It's a really, really, really big issue where you're making the cursing come off as way too much. You're making it too edgy. And like, I like creepypasta. I know what edgy is. This isn't like, Jesus Christ.
The fuck was that?
Well, this section isn't really an issue. It is me talking about something that I found annoying. Personally, most of this stuff is my personal opinion. You don't have to agree with me. If you like stuff in here, then sure, whatever, like what you like. But the sex jokes, the amount of reliance on sex jokes and rape jokes in this show Well, it's not a reliance on rape jokes, I just don't like how they use them. Because Vivsy, rape, you can't do that. You can't like stuff like that. But the over-reliance on sex jokes in Helluva and Hazbin comes off as like a clutch because they can't figure out any other good jokes. And it's just incredibly immature and annoying. It comes off as really, really, really dumb. It comes off as you trying to sound edgy, but you're just not really getting there. There's a reason why I find jokes without cursing funny. Because you don't have to rely on it. You want to know why I find marble hornets funny? Because I don't rely on fucking sex jokes to get a joke across. It's just the funny, subtle laughter, that whatever you want to call it. It's funny. It's funny. I don't care. And I know it's a humor thing. I know humor is subjective, but sex jokes aren't that funny. You don't just joke. The joke can't just be sex. The joke can't just be sex. I'm sorry. The joke can't just be sex. There has to be more of a punchline. The joke can't just be sex. The joke can't just be sex, guys.
Not very good.
Yeah, the economy.
I don't really have much to say as a final statement. I just wanted to complain about a show that, in my opinion, about a show that I think sucks really badly, especially with the female characters, which I will probably make a video about that on the future since I have so many issues with it. But yeah, that's about it for the main topic of the video. I do want to touch on my own channel, because I'm a narcissist. Yes, I know it's been a year since I uploaded. I'm probably not going to come back. This is probably going to be my last video for a few months, because I just haven't had much inspiration or motivation to make videos. And that doesn't mean I'm quitting. That doesn't mean I'm just, like, stopping, because I still want to make stuff for the world. I still want to contribute a little bit to everything. It just means I may not upload, like, 24/7, which I know the YouTube algorithm isn't going to like me for that, because I actually have a mental health to take care of, and I do have my own life to deal with, so you're probably not going to even see this video, but who cares? It's my own opinion, it's my own take. But I wrote in my script, spent a whole year away from YouTube just to come back with a Hazbin Hotel video. I'm so done. If this becomes my thing for my channel, I know I'm going to kill myself. I don't know, I just thought that was funny. That's about it. Have a good day. Don't die in a ditch somewhere. Bye.